Your weekly campaign song for John Anderson of Illinois. Open up your song sheets and let's get it going here. He's from the land of Lincoln out in Illinois. He split many rails when he was a boy. He's got $37 in his campaign chest. That's why John Anderson is cleaner than the rest. John Anderson, he's cleaner than the rest. Change your mind yet? In his closet there's no skeletons, and that's the truth. John Anderson is cleaner than an old hound's tooth. He never will be tried in the media press, 'cause remaining unknown is what he does best. John Anderson, unknown is what is best. But he hasn't got a brother who's a lobbyist for Libya. There ain't no water critic or a chap on Gates. He won't get touchy at the mention of a milk fund. He'll just be 65 in 1988. And he never pardoned Nixon, and he never lacked for leadership. He never had a buddy with a funny bank account. He never went to Africa with a folk singer. He thinks that Ronstadt is a German count. So I offer you, John Anderson, to carry on the void in Washington. If you're looking for perfection, perfection is he. That's another word for obscurity. John Anderson! Meanwhile, President Carter is campaigning from one end of the Rose Garden to the other. Ronald Reagan is doing very well. Nobody brings up Reagan's age. Have you noticed that? He's really surviving that. Although, on his birthday a couple of months ago, Reagan did receive 10,000 birthday cards, all from the other candidates. But nobody seems to care that Marconi was alive when Reagan was born. There were 46 states. It was 6 years after the Russian Revolution. That was before the Russian Revolution. That's right, that's right. He was in his teens before movies started to talk. And in Reagan's first movie, Gabby Hayes got the girl. Well, I like to think that Carter is coming out of the Rose Garden because he felt the pressure from this little ditty I wrote a few months ago. He walks among the trees. Each rose perfumes the breeze. The campaign trail runs through his garden, through all the primaries. Much to his foes' chagrin, he'll not budge from within. He'll still be there some 2 months after Reagan is sworn in. Okay, let's talk about the campaign. Remember the campaign, you know, elect president? Well, the Republicans are starting off their convention in Detroit 1 week from today. You know, that many Republicans at one time in Detroit. I mean, you know, it's like Afghan tourists in Moscow. It really doesn't... I mean, that's a sad spectacle, and you think of it. All those Republicans in Detroit roaming through the back streets, looking for a country club. You see, Ronald Reagan knows that the biggest problem facing the inner cities today is that there's no place to tie your horse. I'm not saying Ronald Reagan is out of place in Detroit. It's just that he thinks that Diana Ross is Betsy's kid sister. Now, the Democratic convention, that's going to be a little more interesting because you still have Kennedy trying to get the delegates to come over to him and all of that. And the Carter people will be fighting. The Carter delegates marching up and down the aisles in Madison Square Garden, chanting their slogan, "Don't dump him now. He's beginning to get the hang of it." And Kennedy will be coming up to each and every delegate. "The choice is yours. Morality and chaos or me." I admit it. I am starting to like Reagan. I can't believe these words I hear are coming out of me. Lord, forgive me. I'm starting to like Reagan. The strangest things come over you when you reach 33. I used to be what once was called a hippie. My hero was McGovern, and hell no, I didn't go. The night that changed my life was the time I told my wife that our military budget is disgracefully low. I admit it, I am starting to like Reagan. I cannot fight whatever has the strangest hold on me. My heroes once were Che Guevara as well as Ho Chi Minh. Today they're Milton Friedman and William F. Buckley. The end of the primaries means that the farmer in Iowa can go back to his plow. The automobile worker in Detroit can go back to his soap opera. The captain of a Coast Guard cutter in Florida can go back to his Cuban lessons. And the low-income elderly family on a fixed budget in Ohio can go back to their Alpo beef chunks. I miss the guy going to the factory. And you see it in industrial areas like Buffalo here, and we've talked about this before, where let's say a candidate he's not comfortable amid blue-collar surroundings, right? He goes to the factory there, and he's all decked out with the hard hat, And he has a Chesterfield coat with a little velvet collar. And the workers are coming out of the gate, and they got their lunch buckets and down jackets, and they're coming like that. The candidate's got his arm out, like, "Hi, like some camembert on a Triscuit?" "Hi, I'm running for president. Certainly appreciate your vote." And the workers give him one of these, and zip right past them there, heading for the gin mill across the road. Every factory in America is surrounded by a series of these neighborhood blue-collar taverns. I don't know if you are familiar with such surroundings. Doesn't occur to me that you are. However, you might hear the sound of Kenny Rogers singing Lucille over the jukebox in a direct counterpoint with the electronic bonging of the pinballs. Right? The candidate bellies up to the bar and says to the bartender, "Do you have any quiche?"